Hello, welcome to the video describing how the Fastmail platform uses OAuth with Google to allow users of both services to migrate data and configure ongoing synchronization, and to interact with their Google email and calendar accounts via the Fastmail interface. During this video, I will demonstrate 3 OAuth authentication flows: one for importing existing email from Gmail, one for setting up outbound sending from a Gmail address, and finally one for synchronizing calendars with Google Calendar. I have 3 tabs open, so let's have a look at them. First, the Google Calendar. It has a single weekly recurring event on Wednesdays, as well as the public holidays in my area. In my Gmail account, I have the welcome email from Google. I have an email I've sent to myself, which is read, and have security alerts from my previous attempt at this. Finally, the Fastmail account. This is a brand new Fastmail account that just has the welcome email. Let's get started. First, synchronizing in email from Google. So if I go to the settings page, under import and setup, we have an option to import from various providers, including Google. Going to the Google page, I get a recommendation that I turn on IMAP on the Gmail account first. I've already done that, so let's proceed. I click login, select my account, and then I get a consent screen. In this case, we've asked for the mail.google.com and userinfo.email scopes. Alright, I'll allow that. And as we come back here, we wait a second while it checks the details, and then it offers 3 items. The first one is checked, the other 2 aren't. That first item is just to import mail. If that's all that you select, then at the time that import's finished, the token's destroyed. It's only used for the import. You can also choose to keep an ongoing fetch of new email, and choose to send email via Google as well. Obviously, if those are selected, the token is retained. I'll choose all 3 here. At this point, you can see the import is in progress, and down here we have a mail fetch and a send as. Let's have a look at the mail fetch. In here, the user can pause at any time by turning off the fetch, can select which folder to fetch the mail into, and whether the copy gets retained on Gmail or deleted after it's been successfully copied. The fetch can either happen frequently or only on choice. The user has an option to delete this at any time. Once they delete it, if this is the last use of the token, then the token's removed. Otherwise, in the case I have here where I'm still sending, then the token's retained for that purpose. Alright, dropping back out of here, let's have a look at the sending details. We've set up sending via the external address, Fastmail example 8 at gmail.com, and that's set to send via smtp.gmail.com. In here, the user can re-authenticate if necessary, and can also check that the server settings are still in place. So we click that, and that's fine. Alright, let's have a look at the email. Back at the mailbox, there's an email from Fastmail saying that the import has been completed. Obviously, if you had a large amount of email, it would take a lot longer, and it would slowly trickle in as the extra folders were created. In this case, you can see the security alerts, that message that I'd read, and the welcome email from Google. Alright, that's example number 1. Obviously, we can't show a fetch right now because that would take too long in a video, so I'll go and remove both the external address, and back here, remove the fetch as well. At this point, that original OAuth token that we collected has been removed. Alright, item number 2. If the user only wants to send via Google and not receive email through our system, they can go to the sending identities and add an external address. I'll type that in now, Fastmail example 8 at gmail.com. It does a server lookup, discovers that it's Google, and offers the OAuth flow again. We click login, we choose the account. Again, we requested both the mail.google.com scope as well as the userinfo.email, and the reason for that is that you require that scope to send via SMTP, and we use SMTP to send. So I'll allow that, and at this point it creates a sending identity. There are plenty of advanced preferences the user can choose, but I'll just click save, and there's the identity right there. Now let's send via that identity. If I go back to the compose screen, I can then select the Gmail address as the sender, send a copy to myself, and I'll send that. It takes a couple of seconds for the email to send out, so once that's returned, we'll have a look at the headers and make sure that it went via Google. So here's the reply. There's the original email I sent in my sent box. Viewing the one in the inbox, we'll have a look at the raw message, and scrolling down through the raw message, you can see that was received by smtp.gmail.com, authenticated as that user, and via a secure connection. That email then followed the usual flow and back to Fastmail. Alright, let's now remove that and have a look at the final case, which is calendars. So if we go to the calendar screen, user can choose to add a synchronization of an external CalDAV calendar, and again with Google, OAuth is available. So we click login, and this time the requested scopes were auth/calendar and of course userinfo.email again. Allowing this, we then synchronize the list of calendars from Google, and the user can either choose to remove individual calendars or remove the entire account. So if we remove these contacts that we don't need, click remove calendar, and it's now available to re-add without needing to re-authenticate because the whole connection itself is there. If we have a look at the calendar, the events may or may not have synchronized in. They don't synchronize immediately, so they will appear a little later, and at that point the Wednesday event will appear. You can see it has already synchronized in my holidays, so there's the Wednesday event as well. So now my calendar is kept in sync with Google, and again that will remain in sync until I delete the entire sync. So the token will be kept. These are the ways that users can synchronize data from Google. Once it's synchronized into either a mailbox or a calendar store, it's treated exactly the same as all other Fastmail customer data, as detailed in our security and privacy policies. Thank you for watching.